Guys, the restaurant that I'm about to expose, I'm sure they've broken every right at Tibenene Labor Relations Act. Just opened, it's in Menlyn. I've been working there for a few days now. So what happened is I went for a job interview. I showed them my CV and my socials, and I was hired on the spot. And then they told me that I should buy a uniform for this job, right? So a cross belty, a white shirt, black shorts, black apron, black shoes. I was like, okay, you know what? It's fine. I'm gonna buy those things because I'm just grateful that I got the job. It was a bit for me at first because I was like, I've worked at other places previously and I've never had to buy my own uniform. But I was like, hey, it's whatever. I went to work the next day and then there was just like, oh, guys, there were more things piling up. As waitresses, Zitibana, we have to buy our own equipment, right? I didn't know about that. So basically, equipment is a bottle opener, a cigar cutter, ndona enye, e-cigarette lighter, cigar lighter. Yeah, boy, like you buy all of these things yourself out of your own pocket. Mind you, I had just spent 1,000 rand on just the uniform, excluding alterations, excluding the transport fees, and now I have to buy the equipment myself. But I was like, you know what, it's fine. This was 10 years into because I had all of these things within the second day that I was working there. Only to find out that there is no contract, there is nothing that is legally binding between you and the restaurant. You just go there, you work. If you get fired, you get fired because there's no contract, no source or tin. How are you going to defend yourself? That was the second red flag for me, actually. And then they were like, we don't have a basic salary. As not basic salary, you make imali tips. This wasn't discussed with me prior. Diva ngoku emsebenzini ba you make imali tips. There's like a mandatory tip of 10% that they bill to the customer. But even that 10% tip, the restaurant takes about, I think it's 20%, 30%. I stand to be corrected. Something about breakage and leverage, I don't know. So 10%, they still take imali etil. And when you come into work, you have to pay what they call a runner fee, which is 200 rand. So basically, a runner is someone that assists the waitress. And then you also have to pay your runner at the end of the night. Wrong, or maybe I don't know how things work, but all of this seemed extreme to me, especially considering the fact that we don't have a basic salary. So fine, I worked there. My first day, it was not smooth sailing because it is my first day. Yes, I've worked at other places, but it's my first time working here. I'm still trying to learn how things work up. Guys, when I tell you what I went through at that restaurant, Zang, I have never gone through that in my entire life, even in my personal life. The way that they treat us, even the way that they talk to us, they make us feel less than, they belittle us. Asina break, you work from 1 p.m. up until 2 a.m. the next day. There's no break. You have to sneak maybe a Red Bull in the bathroom or outside in the corner, even if you're eating a pie yako. We like ba a manager is gonna walk in and scold you for that. It's so, guys, and I just felt like I had to speak up because there is no ways. I don't even know if the customers know that the employees are being treated this way. You know, but I was like, let me suck this up, yabo. Let me just try my best to make imali. But it's even hard to make kwalamali tips because you find that most of the managers, they're friendly with some of the waitresses. So you could be standing there whole day and not even get tables because they're giving it a feel when I also sebenza. For example, last week Sunday, I went home with a debt to the restaurant. I ended up having to owe the restaurant 20 rand because of leverage and breakage and whatnot. After working from 1 p.m. up until 2 a.m., I ended up owing them. Excuse me. For example, today, I've worked so hard, but just because andinikwa itafile mna, mhlambi customers will come, they'll say no itafile kabanban leyana, no customer kabanban. You're like, okay, sharp, sure, as I see how this is. Today I went home with 100 rand tips. I went home with 100 rand tips today after working from 1 p.m. up until 2 a.m. And I was like, you know what? Ibuhlungu lento, but it's okay. It's okay. So before work started, we complained that the cutlery are shorter, things are slow in the kitchen. Then they were like, we are losing the cutlery, therefore everybody is getting fined 200 rand. How are we losing the cutlery? Who is taking it home? Who is losing it where? Like Siphelele kula restaurant, they search our bags when you go home. So where is it being lost? So basically we are buying a cutlery year restaurant because they fine all of us 200 rand. That accountant or whatever she is, she gave me this 100 rand. Then the manager came to me. She's like, Mihlali, we know you're not on the WhatsApp group, but we're finding everyone 200 rand. Ndizayifumana nanku ke uphathu wam. So ndimbuzo sisiba ndizayifumana phi because ninike 100 rand my tips for the day. This is how much I made from working from 1 p.m. up until 2 a.m. ndenze 100 rand. So ndizayifumana phi 200 rand ye-cutlery fine. They're like, no, like basically mandizame ndibanike because imali yabo I owe them. Guys, when I tell you my tears were here, like I told myself that, you know what, I'm gonna go home because this is cruel. Like ningolile, like basically I'm gonna be left at a negative 100 rand after working so many hours. Because Nina, you don't want to buy your stock or inventory, what is it called, as a restaurant, like besides that, the way that they speak to us, I'm not sure if I mentioned this in the previous in the part 1, the way they speak to you, if you even doubt about kanti ekhaya ndiyathandwa okanye why ndilapha. So basically this other manager, she comes to me and then she's like, chinji hairstyle yakho. And I'm like, she's like, ungabuya apha emsebenzini nale hairstyle. Mind you, work ends at 2 a.m. Then we have to be there at 1 p.m. So where am I going to find the time to take out these braids and do another hairstyle? I got no reason why Mandy's change. And I know 3 other girls at work with the same hairstyle. So I was so confused. Like, ingati they were out to get me because I'm new, or maybe they didn't want me there. Because I'm not sure if I mentioned this in the part 1, but even when I came into work today, they were like, Koduka Zopangela, we are demoting you. Just because I was slow on my first day and still trying to learn the ropes, we're demoting you. I'm like, guys, can I please work? Because Delapa, I bought the uniform, I paid the transport to come here. Abafuni ivasana. Ngelaka, they let me work, but at what cost? Because I only made 100 rand because it is for abantu babo. So I'm like, I tell this manager, I'm like, I can change my hairstyle within a few days. She's like, ungaze emsebenzini unale hairstyle. She's speaking English. Yabazi wethu, but ke mna ke ndithetha isiXhosa sami. Uthi, don't come back to work unale hairstyle ngomso, which is Friday. Today is Friday, yeah. So I'm like guys, indlela basiphatha ngayo phayana, but more so especially me. Like, especially mna, because ndimtsha andazi noba kwenzeka ntoni politics aphayana, but ibuhlungu. Some other girls told me that before I worked there, they called them for a meeting and they said that babi nimbatshe nemilenze, babaniki gift card iskamek, bathengani makeup, yenzani makeup nibabi. How do you say that to people? Like, guys, it's so painful, and they fine us for everything. Your hair is not up to their standard, fine. Your nails are not done, fine. For your own ingati, we are fueling the restaurant. That's no bad, but ingati sithi ngokabaqhuba le restaurant. No, guys, I thought I should speak up because like, yeah, I need a serious investigation. I'm mhlawumbe soft. Maybe I don't know how things work, but no ways. The first day I worked there, I came home with blisters, been sore, guys, because my feet were so sore. Like, but I told myself I'm gonna work hard, I'm gonna prove myself. But toxic environment, they are so mean. The managers, like, mean girls on 100. I told myself, I 210 zokutuka. The fuck off upon them. That go to guys. I like, and now apparently they were looking for me, saying I owe them tomorrow. Man, Disney mal ubani endichola phi imali. Like basically I spent so much money. I spent so much money, guys, on literally all of this, like equipment, indoni. I Lungisan, if anyone from that restaurant sees this video, lungisani indlela enenza izinto. So since I posted the video izolo, some of the managers at Babel did try to call me, contact me, but I've not been returning their calls or their messages. One of the managers even went as far as DMing me on Instagram, offering to refund me for a uniform as well as the equipment in exchange for me taking down the video. Obviously, I did not respond to them. And it really saddens me because they think this is really just about the money. Yes, I did incur financial loss, but it's more about the principle. I thought that they would admit their wrongdoing and try to better the working conditions of their employees, but I don't think they see themselves in the wrong. They have gone as far as asking or making the employees report my account, report my videos. Now, for those of you who don't know, I'm a student, but I'm also a part-time content creator. So apps like Instagram and TikTok, that's where I make a little bit of extra money. So them trying to get my account taken down is cruel because they are now taking my last source of income, or at least trying to, but hopefully it's not going to work. Iplan yabo. Yeah, so since I posted that video, there are abantu in my DM who have been sharing their testimonies, telling me about the experiences that they have had at Babel and other restaurants and clubs as well. It's really disheartening and heartbreaking, and I really hope that these restaurants can make an effort to right their wrongs and better the working conditions of the employees, because I just want to say thank you to you guys for all of the support. I see you guys in the comments. I see you guys leaving bad reviews under Google. You guys have even posted the video on Twitter. It's going viral. You guys have made such a great effort to create awareness. So I really appreciate what you guys are doing, because you're not only helping me, you're also helping the employees who are still working at Babel, because I quit mos ansapangelipa. And I want to thank the people who have gone the extra mile, because there are people in my DMs who've been offering me job opportunities, who've been plugging me with job vacancies, trying to lessen the impact of the situation that Babel has put me in. And I want to say thank you for the EFF, especially for the action that they are taking against Babel. They released a statement. They said that they're going to go to Babel to make sure that employees are passing their employment contracts, basic salary, and whatnot. So thank you so much to the EFF. It just goes to show how united we are as a country and how powerful social media can be. So I just want to thank everybody for all of the support, basically.
We just listened to that really disheartening video as well. As the EFF, you have issued a statement noting with grave concern this alleged exploitation.
Yes, we are concerned as the EFF, and we believe that this must be dealt with and decisively. So it actually calls for a lot of things. But also I think it's important that, of course, viewers that we have here and the community in general, community of workers as well, that they thank this young lady for coming and being brave enough to raise this particular issue, because it's not easy for workers to come on the platform and tell people exactly what is happening behind closed doors. And of course, as Capital does not forget, they will try and deal with her. In this case, they've already dismissed her, and we believe that as the EFF, when you have a duty to protect her.
And as you're mentioning, it was pretty brave of her to speak out as well, because now she's facing the consequence of being unemployed. It couldn't have been easy. She must have been brave to speak out, and it couldn't have been easy for her to pull out of tonight's interview as well. What does that tell us about the environment in which people in the hospitality industry, our waiters and watrons, operate under? That they can't even voice their concerns without fear of being dismissed, or that they can't even come to a program like this because they may be intimidated.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. And I must declare, that I have extensive working relationships with the Departments of Labor, with the bargaining councils that regulate the sectors, both nationally and regionally. And I do have that good relationship with them. And I believe that, these kind of things are here to actually explain what sort of pressure pressure they go under as workers, and we are dealing with a lot of problems that are underlying because the system is brutal itself. Workers go on without contract of employment, workers go on without national minimum wage being complied with by different employers, and if you raise your voice, you are being dealt with decisively by them, and they hold all the power. They can litigate all the way, knowing very well that you will not be able to afford the litigation. But again, we are dealing here with this case. When we listen to the content of that particular case, it's very concerning that tools of trade such as wine openers and cigar cutters have to be something that the employer would allegedly want the particular employee to buy. It is a very serious problem that must be dealt with, and in fact the EFF has already committed. It is going to be visiting that particular restaurant to go and find out exactly what is happening.
So, Mihlali was able to provide us with more screenshots from the work group chat showing other employees being told to pay money for their uniforms. Even those who were not shifted on that specific day were told to send money to a certain account so that they're able to order uniforms. And there's even more screenshots showing other waiters and waitresses being fined for certain mistakes around the whole premises. They don't even know who it is, and then they just say you're fined 500 rand for a certain thing, and then there's a place that's found to be sort of like untidy, and then everyone is about to pay 100 rand fine because no one knows who did it. And mind you, Mihlali did say these people don't even have sufficient time to even eat, like, you know, feed the body that's working. You don't even have enough time, and now they're being told to pay 500 rand for messing up a place, or 100 rand or 250 rand for whatever. It's just insane. And some waitresses tips getting withheld until a bill is paid. That's just absurd. Like, if this person is getting paid off of tips alone, and then you want to withhold that, how do you expect them to come back to work in the morning? And now they've actually switched off all the Google reviews, but at least Hello Peter still remains live, and people are leaving 1-star reviews there. And I'm pretty sure if you could leave a 0-star, a lot of people would still do that. However, TripAdvisor still also has their their reviews up. Babel was unable to pull them down. So yeah, that's the update for now, guys. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. Please like, share, and subscribe.